Let's get this going on. Yeah, Yaman. I like that. We be Yaman. All right. I'm going to get out my guitar. We'll have to play some Bob Marley.
Oh, yeah. One love. You don't want to start that today. They won't know where you found this one from.
Little darling,
oh, yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Listen, the people are missing the good stuff now.
That's right. All right. So welcome to the Way of Life Transformations podcast. We have a very special guest. I just happened to cross this guest on Facebook. She was in an amazing tribe inside of the Lisa Nichols tribe, and she was speaking on a Facebook Live, and she caught my attention because her energy came through the screen. She just popped her energy right through the screen, and she was talking in a very transformational way, right to the individual, right to their soul. And it just took me a second to realize that this person right here is a game changer, is somebody who is out to transform the world. And we have a lot of negativity going on in our world. And this person right here is taking her positive energy and doing something with it. And those are the type of people that we want on this podcast. She's a best-selling author, a speaker, a coach, Sherell Brown, ladies and gentlemen.
If you guys can see me now. I am so excited to be with Forrest today. Listen to me. I'm grateful for the opportunity and any time, any platform, any stage that I'm invited to and have the privilege to share the message that the Lord has given me. Listen, it's a chance to change a life. And so I am grateful to be here with you today, Ms. Forrest.
Wow. Thank you, Sherell. and Sherell, a lot of our audience, probably about 80% women, 20% men. And usually on the fitness journey, either starting or in the middle or some more graduating toward, the higher levels, but we're all ready, right?
I'm glad you used that word for us. You said fitness journey. That is the first indication of someone who knows what they're talking about, because we know it's not a sprint. For anybody who has decided to make health and wellness a lifestyle, you know that it is a process and it is ever progressing.
Yes.
So you got it.
Thank you. Wow, that is incredible. Thank you so much. So tell me, what makes Sherell Brown? Like, tell me about your story. This is your show, Sherell. So first of all, I'm so honored to have you. I really think you're spectacular. Tell us about you and your story and what makes you you.
Okay, guys. So here we go.
Yeah.
I had 2 children in 3 years. Can you believe it? I'm a wife. Wow. I'm a mother. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a professional health coach by profession. My profession changed. I was actually a police officer for 12 years. And after I had 2 children in those 3 years back to back, I gained up to 320 pounds. Of course, you could imagine I did not feel like the person who I know myself to be. But I made an excuse and I made food a crutch. Well, one of the first things I had to do was take onus of my own responsibility. It was what I did, and now I had to fix the problem. I loved my children. I loved my husband, but I no longer loved me. And many of us as men and women find ourselves in that position. When our physical person changes, it is more than likely connected to what's going on the inside. And because I lost the love for myself, I consumed food as a crutch. I became an emotional eater. And so many of us are using food as a crutch. Guys, you know what I'm talking about. If nothing else about Sherell, I keep it real. We might mash a few toes. Yes, I know. And it might hurt a little bit, but it's definitely necessary to change. And so long story short, I had a health attack that hit my family hard. They told me that my husband had leukemia. They told me at the same time that he's hospitalized now. I was told that my 3-year-old son at that point in time may be autistic. And then my 12-week-old daughter, remember now, my 12-week-old daughter, fresh out of the womb, they said she picked up pneumonia from my husband. And so my household was in disarray. And so here I was, the wife, the mother, thinking that I was the last one standing. What's the devil? What's the lie? I had a sneak attack waiting on me for it.
Yeah.
One day I was walking up the stairs and I started gasping for air. I could not make it up a flight of stairs without and so I started to run. And I remember laying down one morning and I heard the voice say, run, run, run. I got up and I started running for it. While I was running, it was like something said to me, you're about to have a heart attack.
Wow.
And so I went to see a doctor, and the doctor confirmed that if I did not make a change now, I may not be there to see my next birthday. And so here I am, a wife. Here I am, a mother. My husband is in the hospital. They're telling me I need to take my son to psychiatrist, and I have a newborn baby. I'm like, what in the world is going on? But that was the moment. That was the catalyst for it that actually changed my life. And so I started running every day, maybe no faster than a pace that some persons might call a walk or a hunter, but it was a mindset for me. Remember now, I was a trained police officer, and so I know but chanting and keeping a pace. And are you ready? Say what? Say what?
Are you ready?
Say what? Say what? Are you ready for war? And that was the chant that I carried in my head. And that was where the fight came from. Because here I was starting to look at obesity, like this thing came to kill me.
Yeah.
It didn't just came to kill me. Now my is having an issue and the possibility of me not going to be there to stand by my husband, to take care of my children. The devil is a liar. So we have to get upset at the situations and circumstances that are facing us to the point where we are willing to take our power and make the change. And so I had to tell obesity, listen, sometimes you got to talk to yourself. Sometimes you got to talk to the plate. Sometimes you got to talk to all those oppositions that are coming up towards you to tell you you can't do it. You wasting your time. It ain't make no sense to tell them, oh, you messed with the wrong person. You better go get yourself. Listen to me. As a mother, as a mother, if someone comes and threatens your child, threatens your house, as a husband, someone tries to invade your property, are you going to sit there and take it? Oh no. Something in you is going to rise up. And that was the stance, and that was the position that I took when I realized that obesity, when I realized that weight was trying to kill me. I'm not going to lay down and roll over and indulge in another half of a cheesecake and wallow and cry. No, we are walking in pity. We're walking in power. That is the power and authority that we were given, and that is my birthright. Health and healing is my birthright. How dare you? Listen. Sometimes you got to psych yourself out on this journey, because if you do not, the same thing that you fear that will happen is what is going to happen, because you never took an active stand. You never activated the power that was given to you. For us, on one of the videos that I did, I like to tell people, when we go to the electric company and we pay for our electricity, because everybody has light, we're no longer living in the Stone Age where nobody has access to power running through the house. And so when you go to the electricity company and you pay your security deposit and you sign up and you give them your money, they've already sent the power to your house. But when you arrive, when you step inside and you're trying to figure out why your house is in darkness, it's because you didn't take the necessary steps that needed for you to be in the light. You only had to flip the switch. Come on, somebody. Today we came to flip the switch. You no longer have to live in darkness. You no longer have to reside and stay in the state that you're in. You don't have to wallow in pity. You have the power. Somebody better get up off of that couch, put that ice cream back, go find that treadmill buried under all them clothes and say, listen to me. I'm not going out like this. Sister girl got 20 pounds. Sister girl got 40 pounds. Brother man got 50 pounds. We got to lose them. We can't do it. Stay in the state that we're in. Your purpose matters. Your destiny matters. And all of it is connected to you having the physical ability to walk into your gifting, to walk into your purpose, to walk into your calling. And so that is what Sherell's story is. That is what I'm about. That is how I'm educating the world the importance of eating to live and not to die. That's why I tell people it's not about starvation and deprivation. It's about balance. I like cheesecake and I eat it. I'm not going to Listen, I didn't get 320 pounds because I didn't like food. Don't get me wrong. Balance means that I can have a little of everything that I want, but I choose when to have it. I know that I can't have Kentucky for breakfast, Burger King for lunch, and then sit down and eat a salad, smother it with salad dressing and say, oh, I'm eating healthy. No. I'm on a diet. I'm watching my, you lying to yourself. Listen, we're calling all y'all out today. Today is the day that we set some people free. Because until you can embrace the things that are happening emotionally and internally, it's going to continue manifesting physically. I said it. You tell them I said it. Sherell Brown came on Forrest's show today and she said that. You got to do it. Forrest, I'm telling you, we have people drowning their sorrows in food. And then we look at somebody who's drowning them sorrows in a bottle and say, oh, they're alcoholic. You look at somebody who's smoking weed and can't get off of the cocaine and you call them a dope head. Well, what are you? You're just using a different form of a drug.
Yeah.
Food can be a drug. The companies are putting chemicals in the products today that are making you crave these things. The sugar is just, listen, I've done the research. Science shows that if you consume a certain amount of sugar a day, you have the same effect as an addict. Why do you think somebody can't step away from the Coke soda? I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, y'all. Put the Coke soda down, because the same thing is doing to the metal. Because you've watched it, everybody's seen and heard. If it can eat away a metal, what do you think about your internal organ? You drinking 24 bottles of Coke a day. Listen, stop it. Stop it now. I might as well tell you. You want to be here for your husband? You want to be here for your wife? You want to be here to see your child walk down the aisle? Or you want to be able to stand up and cheer for them on graduation day? It's not going to happen with you staying in the rut that you're in. It's going to happen with you getting up and say, I'm here to live and not to die. Recognize that the eating habits that you're having, the lack of activity that you're incorporating in your life is leading to ultimate death. We ain't about that life. You're going to live and you're going to have life more abundantly. Or if you let me go, I'm going to keep on going. You have anything you want to interject or ask me?
Yeah.
You have anything you want to interject or ask me?
Man, you're just, you're on fire, and you're on point. You're on point, and you're hitting all the buttons that we need to be talking about, right? These are the things that people are shutting down on. They're putting their blinders on, right? And they want to stay
yeah, man.
And you're saying it like, but I love what you said was like, you used a little bit of anger, like you were being attacked, right? That was going to kill you. And so you took that and you said, heck no, that's not going to happen. And you drew a line. You drew a line and you said, this is not, it was like Lisa Nichols says, non-negotiable. It became non-negotiable. It was not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's just going to happen no matter what. And I love that.
Every one of us, Forrest, every one of us have the power. Every one of us has the authority. I told somebody today, it's not about the ability. It's about your willpower. Because you can always learn a skill. You can always be taught how to lift weights. You can always be taught the proper form. But it comes with the will to do it. If you don't have the will, you'll be wasting your money and my time. I ain't about that life. You can keep your money and you can save me some time, because I value my time. Forrest values his time. When we take on a customer, when we take on a client who says, Sherell, I want help. Sherell, how can you help me? First of all, the first thing I ask you is, why me and why now? Because I need for you to identify in your mind that I have a sense of urgency, which means that I am going to do what is needed to do to see, or needed to be done to see the change in my life. And until you are at that breaking moment, until you are at that point, or until you have a why that would make you cry, you're not going to change. Honey, sister, brother, man, I'm going to say this the best way I can. If you can't confront it, then you can't change it.
Yeah.
Yes, the husband left. Yes, the girlfriend that you thought would stay with you, she walked away as well. The son that you thought might be there to take care of you, all of these things happened in your life. But the thing that you thought was a weakness today is going to be your stepping stone to your strength tomorrow. Come on, somebody. We are going to arise. We are going to stand on all of what we know that we were created to be and show the world your greatness. And it cannot happen if you are not here. And so I don't care if you're a marketing specialist. I don't care if you're a doctor. I don't care if you are a dentist. We all need each other. So you matter. The gift that you have to offer to the world matters. Get up off of that chair. Get up out of that bed. Get your hip to the gym or get on the floor and start running a mile, buddy. Listen, are you ready? Say what? Say what? Are you ready? Are you ready for a war? And so you might as well call that my theme song for us.
Yeah, awesome.
That was why we started the War Against Obesity, the cause.
Yeah.
And so my business itself, I'm known as Sherell Brown, your health concierge.
Yes.
And so my company is the War Against Obesity LLC. And then my nonprofit is the War Against Obesity, the cause. And so both of them do the very same thing. The War Against Obesity, the cause, is the platform that we use to connect our social media platform, whether Instagram or Facebook. We have a community where we say, listen, if you need support in your health and wellness journey, then come and join us. No. Let me rephrase that. When I say join, I mean participate. I don't do the spectators. I might as well tell you. Anybody that is coming to associate themselves with me or anything that is connected to me, I don't like spectators. I like participators. And the reason why I like participate is because when you participate in a thing, you increase your chances of changing what's going on with you. If you're watching somebody, so does it make sense to sit down and say, I want to do this? And then you come and then you just watch. How is your life being changed? And how are you changing others? So it's one thing to have Forrest pour into you. Who is pouring into Forrest? And so when you join a community and you are watching persons share their journey and share their struggle, you share yours because guess what? Your journeys, your victories, your struggles is inspiring others. And so that is why I say I don't do spectators. I like participators. Because if I sat quiet, if I never opened my mouth, if I never posted a Facebook video, if I never decided to get up off that bed and beat obesity, I might not be here today to inspire you. And so this is how we keep the cycle going, by you doing the very same thing. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to wear a buckle 5. I don't wear no buckle 5. I still a 2x4. And so, but the idea is the approach. Sorry, Forrest. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask you. Sorry to interrupt you, but you know, just to get to your level, right? To get to your level, there has to be some things that you do on a daily basis, right? Yeah. That keep you either connected, maybe motivated, maybe just able to take the action that you've been able to take. Because so many people are stuck, right? They're stuck in their stuckness, right? And they just can't find a way out of this deep dark hole that they're climbing out. And their fingers are raw from bleeding on this hole. But they're not going nowhere. They're not actually getting out. So can you reach a hand down into the hole, pull somebody out, give us your success rituals or your daily morning rituals? What do you do, Sherell, that on top of the world?
Yes. Okay. So first of all, guys, remember I started to share with you in my story. One of the first things I had to incorporate was a change of diet and exercise. Of course, anybody in the fitness arena, you would have already heard this statement till it's blue, that weight loss is 80% nutrition and 20% exercise. They are not lying. However, the numbers fluctuate. There are 2 key things that has to happen. And of course, you cannot leave out the mindset. Listen, I rather you change the mindset first, because then when we take the next step in terms of diet and fitness, it's going to work. It's going to stick. You're not going to start and then stop. And so that was why the most important thing for me is to address somebody's mental ability. I like to know that the will is there first. Then when I give you the instructions that you need to start exercising, that these are the adjustments that you need to make in your diet to see change, then I know it's going to be carried out and it won't be falling on a deaf ass. And so now that we've moved past the mind and we're going into fitness and nutrition, one of the first things I started to do was start running. I was 320 pounds. Cardio was what I needed. I didn't do strength training. I didn't do any of those things. I just needed to start to get my body moving. And running, as we know, gives you a full body workout. We start to get the heart pumping, the blood flowing, the joints that have been stuck and sore for years. So listen, I didn't say I was a marathon runner or a sprinter. I said I started running. I put one foot in the front of the other and I kept moving. And I continued to do that day after day, a minimum of 5 days a week. I worked for the government. And so I went to work as a detective Monday through Friday. And so if I could get up and go on somebody's job, committed to someone else's job because I got to pay, I got to be committed to myself. Because as a police officer, we assign numbers. And when I die, my number is either passed on or recycled. And so nobody's going to recycle me before time. No, honey. And so if I was committed and dedicated to somebody else's profession, then that was what I at least owed to myself. And so I would go up every day and I would run at least a mile. Honestly, at least a mile. And I would do it tired. I would do it grumbling. I would do it in fatigue. And I put myself in positions where I couldn't catch a ride, where I couldn't catch a bus, where I couldn't call somebody and say, come for me. No, I intentionally put myself in situations that forced me to arrive. And so I would run at least a mile every day. And that was the first thing I did and still do. In all honesty, the mile has since increased and my scheduling has since increased, but I have not stopped running. Glory to God. And then the other thing I had to do was change my nutrition. Now, guys, remember now, I said to you, this is what was going on in my life. My husband had leukemia. For those of you who don't know, they said it was a form of cancer. My son, they're telling me now, I need to take to a psychiatrist because they believe he fell on the autistic disorder spectrum. And my daughter, they said, had pneumonia as a result of bringing around my husband. So I had no more money. Medical bills, doctor bills, therapy, nutritionist, neurologist, all of these kind of things. My money was depleted. And so in the health and wellness industry, one of the first things I hear people say, eating healthy costs too much money. When you go to the food store, it costs me too much money. It's too expensive. It's too. This man, stop with the excuses. Them doctor bills cost more than the food bill. Come on, somebody.
Hello.
If you got to spend grocery money, $300. I'm telling you, $300 a week or every 2 weeks to replenish your proteins, your carbs, and your fat. $3,000 start you off at the doctor's office. Matter of fact, before he diagnosed you, you know you have a base payment, and every time he pull out a carton, a stethoscope, or lay you on a table, the numbers are adding up. You can't pay that doctor bill in one sitting. You have to make payment after payment after payment. Then you're now paying for therapy. You're not going to avoid it if you just pay for groceries. For us, we have to keep it real. Listen, I ain't the one. When you come my way, you know I mean business. I mean business. And so I'm saying this to say, for the person who's already saying, man, it costs too much to eat, I started changing my diet on a $20 budget. Listen, I came to keep it real with y'all today. And so my husband was only able to eat certain things at that time. I had young children who were still using infant milk. How much do you all know infant milk costs for $15? Baby milk ain't cheap. I had my son who was only eating certain things, and now they're telling me his mind can only process a certain way. My finances were stretched to the max, and it was almost non-existent. And so I had to find a way to manipulate my grocery bills to ensure that my husband got his needs. He needed some extra iron, so I had to make sure beets and stuff was a part of his diet. I had to make sure my babies had their infant milk and whatever else they need. A mommy needed to be able to take care of herself to continue to be able to take care of them. And so this is why we're shutting down all the excuses today, because sometimes you have to do what they call self-preservation. Take care of yourself. When you go on an airplane, the first thing the stewardess tell you is the plane is going down. Put the life vest on yourself. Not husband, not children, not wife, on you. And then take care of everybody else. And so we are putting the life jacket on you today. And so with that $20 budget, or whatever my budget was, it fluctuated at that time. I would start with protein. Everybody eats chicken, or everybody eats a form of fish. And so that was the protein. It's the cheapest. You can get a 5-pound or 10-pound bag. Listen, I ain't say chicken breast. I'm talking about chicken leg quarters for $5 to $8 for it. Listen, for $5 to $8 per bag that you can cut in a joint and buy for meals that you stack and make it last for a week for me and my family. Come on, somebody. And then I had to make sure I had my car. My husband, you know, we grew up on the island. We like rice. And so I know he's going to eat some white rice, and my babies will eat some as well. And so then I got to the vegetables. Now for me, what I did was I got oatmeal. Listen, y'all, oatmeal has been a lifesaver. Quaker Oats, you got a brand rep here.
There you go.
Oatmeal is a lifesaver. I love it because it's multi-purpose, which means I would substitute oatmeal for rice. I wouldn't eat the rice because this is me trying to make a change in my diet. And so until you are able to, how do you say, ride without the training wheels, you better keep them on. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses. If you know you can't go all in and just eat fruits and vegetables, then have your chicken, man. Listen, for Christ's sake, eat it with balance. Eat it with balance. And so I would buy the chicken and make sure everybody eats chicken. I would buy the rice because it still wouldn't keep me happy. But I would just make sure I allocate resources for fruits and vegetables, and oatmeal was a key staple. Chicken was a key staple. I would go in the fruit and vegetable section to see what they have on sale or what they have on special. And so whether it was a head of lettuce is 99 cents, y'all. One bag of carrot that has about 6 to 8 sticks is 99 cents, y'all. Come on, somebody. Listen, somebody know what I'm talking about. Yes. Bananas, you can get 5 or 6 of them for a handful for about $1.50, y'all. You ain't spent $5 yet. And so when I hear the excuses that eating healthy is too expensive, no, I tell you that the doctor bill is worth more money. Woo! And my husband, Forrest, my $30,000, easy.
Yeah.
Easy for my husband, easy, off the top. And that wasn't the doctors, I'm saying, that wasn't when they had to drill into his back. That wasn't the biopsies. That wasn't sending the samples off. And so I'm going to sit here and complain about $20, $30, $300 on food. No, you've got to put the reality, put it in perspective. And when you realize that if I eat this way, it could hopefully prevent me from getting this way, then I think I better take my chances and go this way.
You just threw a grenade. You threw a grenade on the excuses right there. Boom. Yes. I love that, Sherell.
Oh, listen to me.
Sherell, so if you had this is one of the questions that I wanted to ask you today is, if you had one message to give to a future relative, right, that you were never going to meet, right? This is a legacy question that you were never going to meet, but this is a future relative. You care deeply about this person. What would that message be, that life message, that one message be?
Wow. Wow. Well, I think the first part of the message would always be, no matter what comes your way, know who you are. This is something that was dropped into my spirit, that beauty is not a look or a feel, it is the knowledge of who you are. And so that is for a woman or a man who is sitting out there. A lot of times our self-identity gets lost in what society says. Because when you hold on and keep yourself anchored on who you are, nothing and no one can say you otherwise. When you know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, when you know that you're called to change the world, when you understand that the gift that you have matters, then you treat yourself accordingly. You will not treat yourself like a garbage disposal and consume any and everything because you're looking for a comfort or you're looking for a way out. No, you would carry yourself like the king or queen that you are. Why? Because you understand your very own worth. In society today, between the media, the magazines, and everything else that is being shared, we get confused about who we are or who the world says that we are. But if we hold anchor in the knowledge that we were fearfully and wonderfully made, if we hold ourselves anchored to our destiny matters, our lives are attached to our purpose, then I think that we are going to be better off without it. And so this message could be for male or female. If nothing else, you matter. If nothing else, you remember that beauty is not a look or feel. It is the knowledge of who you are.
There we go. Sherell Brown. Sherell, tell us, Sherell. I mean, you hit a home run out of the park. Bam. I mean, your energy is so contagious. You're on fire. You're absolutely beautiful inside and outside.
Thank you, Lord.
And I just want to say, first of all, thank you. And it's been an honor. How do people get in touch with you now? How can they, find you and your services, and how can they reach out if they're needing to find a way out?
Okay, so on Facebook, I am Sherell Brown. That is my fan page, and that is my personal page, and that is Sherell with SHERELL, last name Brown, like the color of my skin. BROWN. My Facebook community is called The War Against Obesity, the Cause. THE War, the being a war, y'all. Are y'all ready? Y'all want me to start chatting again? WAR. We're in a war, but guess what? It's already won. And so we fighting with the knowledge that we have already won. Come on, we had an advantage. The enemy had a disadvantage. That's play the fool. Listen, or as I told somebody one day, they offered the wrong thing. They got a 2 headaches.
That's right.
They did do something. Yes, because when I look at that food, it had emotional ties and emotional connections. And so sometimes you got to get that radical. And so THE, war, WAR, against AGANIST, obesity, because that's who we are fighting. That's our target, the war against obesity, the cause. This is my baby, y'all. This is my passion. This is what I do. I travel, I speak, I host events online and offline. And so connect with me. We can make some changes and we can help change the world together, like Forrest doing.
Woo! Sherell, you're I think if I say passion to describe you, that's an understatement. That is
wow.
Right? You are way beyond passion. You're connected, you're universally connected in your passion, right?
Yes,
and it's spreading because you feel it in your bones, in your DNA. It's just alive in you.
I live this. I live this, Forrest. I can't see how some people, listen, if you are in a profession and you don't get to the point where it excites you or moves others to change, you need to check yourself. I might as well tell you. Don't just be working for those dollars. You need to be working for destiny. Because when you work on destiny, the dollars are going to come. Because the people that are assigned to you are going to be drawn to you. Forrest and I, this might be the first time we're working together, but I assure you it will not be the last. We have to spread this word throughout the world, the universe. I often tell people that the world is my footstool, and so where we go, it's our job to pull our brother. It's our job to pull our sister. Get involved in your area, because whatever you're doing affects another. And if you ain't playing all out, you in the wrong area. Listen, all or nothing, buddy. And I do that with everything, all or nothing.
Are you ready?
Hey! what? Say what? Come on now, for that's what you get when you mix a military help. Come on now, with some island flavor, and then drop 100 pounds. You looking for bombs? You looking for juice with milk?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you
Sherell
so much
Brown.
for
This
it.
has been such a fantastic pleasure. I'm so grateful to have connected with you, Sherell. And we'll have to.
And I you for it.
Yes.
Yes.
Bless you and thank you so much from my heart to yours.
Yes, we appreciate you as well. And for those of you who are listening, continue listening. This young man is changing the world by bringing the message of healing, health, and hope. Some persons out there need it and don't know where to find it, and he is providing that channel for you. Stay connected and spread the word. This is the only way for us to bring global healing. And so thank you, Forrest, for answering the call, for seeing the need, and for showing up. Because people know that there's a need, but they don't necessarily step up to be the answer to that need. And today, because of your platform, somebody is hearing that what they need to hear to make a change. Whether they come to me, whether they come to you, it matters not. But if they got up off that couch, if they stepped away from that place, if they told the next hamburger no, it was because of this platform and the experiences that both of you and I shared that is now helping to make a change. So thank you, brother.
Woo! Love you, Sherell. Mwah! You're the best.
Love you too.
You have a great day.
So thank
you have
you
a great
all.
day, all right? And we'll be in contact. We'll let you know when the podcast comes up. And yeah, fantastic. Have a wonderful day.
Okay, you too. I wasn't sure that it stopped recording, so are we still recording?
Still recording, yeah. Still recording. I can
okay. Okay.
Yeah.